Hello. How do you, as the leader, shift morale and create a safe space for people to share their concerns and problems when dealing with a very difficult or challenging time? Maybe you're a new leader and you're noticing that people are unhappy and there are a lot of complaints. What can you do? You need some strategies for handling this so that the negativity doesn't continue and infect the entire workforce. Morale could be poor and then you don't want people to leave. So while you may be looking for some big thing, magic wand to just make all the difference, there are several simple strategies that you can implement pretty quickly that will help people feel heard and appreciated. So today we're going to introduce one of those strategies. The one thing you do not want to do is hide. Your people need you. I'm Dr. Julie Donnelly, and my passion is helping you become the best leader you can be so that you feel good about your leadership ability and skills, you feel confident, and you enjoy leading. And then together we can change the culture within healthcare and create work environments where people feel psychologically safe, they feel engaged and productive members of the healthcare team. We want less stress, less burnout, and more satisfaction and happiness from doing what we love to do, which is caring for people. If you're new to the channel or have not yet done so, then go ahead and subscribe now. When times get tough, stress builds. There's much that you may not have control over. And as a leader, your people are looking to you to help them get through this, which means turning your attention to what you can do, the things over which you do have control. Stress is born when we focus too much energy on things we have absolutely no control over. So as a leader, we have to focus our attention on what we can control, which is ourselves, and the work environment that we create for those around us, how people feel when they come into work every day. So one of the things that you can implement right now to help alleviate stress and help your staff feel good is to offer a space for sharing and complaining. You also want to use the time to celebrate and acknowledge what's going well. Let me explain. So creating a safe space for staff to complain about things and share their frustrations enables them to express themselves and get this stuff off their chest. This can occur during a staff meeting or in some other format that works well for your department. Obviously, you're going to want to set some rules for the sharing so it's controlled and people know what to expect. But if you create a safe space for sharing challenges, you may discover little things that you can fix, problems you didn't know that they were dealing with that you can solve pretty easily. And that way you can make some progress. When I began working as an executive nurse, I started staff meetings right away. I wanted people to get to know me, and I needed to hear what they were going through and what they needed from me as their leader. And boy, did I get an earful. There were a lot of complaints about how they were treated and what they were putting up with. There was a lot of stress, and frankly, they were angry. So while this was difficult for me to hear, I certainly had my work cut out for me. These meetings enabled me to get a clear picture of what they needed from me as their leader. What do your people need from you? Do they feel comfortable sharing their issues and concerns? Are you open to listening to and hearing what they have to say? Or do you just pay them lip service? Do they believe that you'll provide the support that they crave and that they're asking for? In my example, I was new, so I all I could do was show them that I was interested and they were open to share. And I was lucky in that they did share. Since they didn't know me, I had to establish that trust, and that, of course, was going to take time. I could say whatever I wanted, but then I had to follow that up with the actions that I took. So initially, I just listened and created that safe space for people to just share. And sometimes people just want to be heard. They want to feel like they have a voice and that someone's listening to them. By taking that time to listen, people really do feel that you care about them, especially during difficult times. This then creates trust and allows people to bond. So, and as I mentioned, you can do this in a formal meeting with a designated time on a regular basis, or you can do it one on one with people that you can't um, get to come to those meetings, maybe because of how things are structured. But finding a way to tap into this and allowing people to share does a couple things. One, it helps eliminate the gripe sessions that are most likely happening in other places, potentially within earshot of patients or other departments. And so it gives them a place, a safe place, and a strategic place to be able to bring up what's going on. And the second thing it does is it builds goodwill for you and it camaraderie among their peers because people feel heard and they feel like they're not alone. They share their pain, and this, of course, creates that bonding. It may not fulfill every need they have, but it is something, and that counts, and they will appreciate you for it. And don't forget to ask what they are finding that is good, what is going well for them. Sometimes we complain so much that that's all we know how to do, and you're going to have to train them to start looking for what is good. Venting is fine, but it's never all bad. And there will be good too. So let them look for it and then acknowledge it. Make that a part of these meetings. So, to summarize, offer a safe space for sharing and complaining, a place to vent, to share, and to resonate with your staff, meaning understand where they're coming from. This can and should, as I mentioned, be available one on one as well as in a group setting. There may be things that they want to share with you that they don't want to announce in a group. Listen, be interested and curious about what people have to deal with. Shift things by asking what they appreciate and what's going well, and celebrate those wins and the small improvements that make your work life more tolerable. You want to acknowledge the progress that you make toward improving the situation and the overall work environment so that eventually the complaining stops and it's not pervasive. This strategy emphasizes bringing people together to face common challenges, enabling people to get real with each other, to face that elephant in the room. And you have to know what's really problematic. You have to be willing to face it so that you can make the changes that you need to create the environment that you want. You can't always change the circumstances. You can't wave that magic wand to make things better, but you can create a work environment where people feel appreciated, cared about, and valued. And that goes a long way. So, your call to action is to have a staff meeting or meetings to learn what's on people's minds. Be sure to announce it with enough time for people to attend, and lay out a simple agenda that simply asks them to share their challenges, ask what's going well, and in future meetings, ask them to celebrate some wins so that people um, start to look for the good and feel more positive about the work. This will take time if they've been dealing with some challenges for a considerable length of time. I highly recommend that you keep a journal and reflect upon your leadership experiences. Let me know how things are going. Place your comments or questions below, and I will answer any questions that you have in a future video. If you need assistance at all, some of this can be challenging to do on your own. Please reach out to me through my website at drjuliedonnelly.com. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, make it a great day, and I'll see you next time.